Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are talking about the video game side of things when it came to my trip to Japan. For those who don't know, I went to Japan and well, there was a lot of good sights and stuff in that. But today we are just strictly talking about the games. Now, when I initially started my trip to Japan, we didn't get to see too many stores. I think it was like about the third day I came across randomly as we were walking around through a Trader store. I believe it was no, it was a book off. It was a book off. No, this was a book off. So this was the very first store I went to that had some games, and they immediately had on display here all the Pokemon shit, and these were very fucking expensive ass copies of fucking OG Pokemon. Like, I actually wanted to get a copy of Green, but fuck, for these prices, fuck, these are expensive for any of these. Like, Pokemon became outrageously expensive. So, Book Off is a chain of stores that carries a lot of shit, like just media in general, along with figures. You can find lots of nice anime shit there too, as well. And they have a lot of figures. If you're into figures, you will find lots of fucking different figures from small to big and all that. You can find lots of big box stuff. Lots of it. Yeah, there's Trails of Mana. But, so this is what the section looked like at this book off. So, this particular book off was not a super large location. Like, further down here was like Blu-rays and stuff. But they did have lots of games and stuff. I mainly focused on retro stuff because getting more modern stuff is obviously not too hard. You can usually get that pretty easy off the internet. Getting retro stuff is a lot trickier. And you have a lot of that middleman, secondhand price stuff going on eBay and stuff. And I can tell you firsthand, after experiencing a lot of going through stores, there is definitely a fucking mock-up on a lot of this shit. I'm telling you, this stuff is very heavily mocked up. A lot of this stuff I got for fucking dirt cheap when people were selling it for like 20 plus on eBay, so. But at this first location, these were my pickups here. Now, I do actually have all these games that I bought actually here on the side in case I want to actually pull out anything related to them. So, to go over them, though, so this is Popo Crisis. I don't know how many entries were on the PS2, but I actually came across 2 of them, and they were really fucking cheap. This was 480 yen. Do you know how much for, like, I'm gonna use my phone here to try and refresh on some of this, but I want to give you an idea what 480 yen to US dollars currently converts for $3.14. That is ungodly cheap. And look at this one. This is 270 yen. 270 yen to US dollars is $1.77. This was under $2 fucking dollars in American money. A fucking JRPG tactics game. Like, fuck. That is cheap. I have never heard of this game. It's a Konami game. It looks like a weird platform RPG hack and slash thing from what I saw. It was, as you can see, also really cheap, so I just grabbed it for curiosity. These ones got opened. I guess they didn't have the games in the cases, so they opened them to put them in. These were also really cheap too, though. This is a Monster Hunter spin-off. This game I solely got because look at this. It looks like Saga artwork. So, like, but it's from however you pronounce them. They're the people that also published the Summon Night series, oddly enough. So I solely got that for that. This random Monster Hunter game for the PS1. It's a Magic Dungeon style game, so you know, it was cheap. Now here's one that was interesting. Time Travels. This is a level 5 game. It's apparently also on PSP. I came across it at the Super Potato for the PSP. So this was 1,100 yen, which converts to 719 currently. So again, it was really cheap, but it was a level 5 game. Never heard of it. Don't know if it will work in the Vita TV, so that will be something to discover. This I had to buy because of 2 reasons. For one thing, if you're familiar with this game, it is a very notorious fucking Famicom game that's considered one of the shittiest games on the damn thing. Second thing is, this game actually got a fucking sequel on the Switch, which is a vampire survival style game, which is really interesting that they would give it a sequel. So I was like, I had that pre-ordered on PlayAsia, so I was like, well, I guess I gotta get this, right? I mean, it's $720, so I'm probably not gonna get cheaper than that without like being there when in Japan. That probably sells for more of that just for the notoriety of it. And then at a, I believe this was a book off also, I think. Yeah, it was a book off. It has the sticker. So this is one of the Tales games that didn't come to America that got delisted. A bunch of Tales games got delisted recently. And I wanted to grab this one before they started upcharging the price and stuff. Because, you know, that's what scalpers do when shit gets delisted and that. And, you know, I was like, oh, fuck, you know, that's like barely anything of that. So, 1,050, that's 1,500, that is translating for 981. So, you know, less than $10, that's good. Again, this is 270 yen for one of the Taku Drum Master games on the DS. Sadly, while I got 2 entries on the DS and they both advertised with like dual statuses, sadly neither one came with the 2 statuses, but they were very cheap. Let's see, these were a bunch of soundtracks. I knew Japan was still really into getting a lot of music physically, but fuck, I mean, there was a lot of music still very available physically. Of course, we have some anime stuff on top of just simply video game stuff too. That, you know, you gotta have some of the memes. Now, this I don't know what this store was called. This was literally just some random store. Now, this store none of my friends went into because sadly, so something about some of these random stores is the hybrid stores, and this was a hybrid store with an adult store. Now, they'll cut off, like, you're not allowed to go into the adult section if you're underage and shit. It's not like they'll, you know, like the stuff is all both co-mingling together. Though, weirdly enough, to check out the cash register was at the entrance of the adult section, so I'm not quite sure how they expect underage people to buy video games, but I don't know. So this is Evergrace, the Japanese version. Very nice looking cover. I actually like it a lot. I did not buy it. I took a few snippet pictures of a few things that I thought were interesting. Something I did buy was this for 680 yen. This is a FromSoft game. You can't see it though, sadly. I've never heard of it. This is apparently like their take on Dynasty Warriors. From what I read about it, it is a bit more, how should I say, tactics. Like, apparently you have to be a little bit more mindful of what you're doing in that. This store generally had a fair number of really cheap titles overall. Again, I don't know what it was called. It wasn't any kind of chain store that I saw ever again or anything. Like I said, it just was the front area had video games, and then it had a back area that was adults. So they did have a cabinet here, which was the first instance of seeing a lot of rare titles. So Japan prices have been going up. Jimmy Hopper has talked about this before in one of his videos. I believe he was talking about how PS1 prices were going up, but Yeah, a lot of prices are going up. Look at this thing here. This is 52,000 fucking yen. Just to give you an idea how insane it is, 52 8. So that is $343. So not everything is cheap in Japan. And sadly, from what I can tell, games like, look at that, fuck. From what I can tell, a lot of games that people want to import en masse, like things like Silent Hill and Wool Woes and shit, because they're really expensive, here have risen prices of them overseas as well. So there are indeed titles that are very expensive. Holy shit! That Pikmin is fucking 25,000. Fuck. And it looks like 3,400 for Seaman 2. I guess that ain't as bad. I think this is one of those train conductor game things, I think. I've heard about some of these controllers for train sim games on Sony platforms and that. But yeah, this... Oop, accidentally hit that. So, this was my first taste of seeing some of the games that are fucking pricey. And I can tell you, one of the other common games I saw that got really pricey too was very, how should I say, risque games. Games that importers really target a lot of in risque games. I've seen lots of risque games are really pricey. Does that say what? That doesn't say 15,000, does it? 15,180? Are you kidding me? You're kidding me. That's almost $100 fucking dollars. Now, I can tell you, you could get this from Video Games Plus, like, cheap. I wonder if the Video Games Plus one has Japanese in it as an option. I'm kind of curious. Because, you know, if I go back to Japan, I would love to try and actually see about, like, if I could trade some stuff from here for yen to you know, like, either offset my trip payment. Because it was like $1,026 to go to Japan. Or if I can use it to get some money to actually afford some shit. Virtual Final? Dang. Man, there were some funky prices in here for some things. Found Dragon Dragoon, which actually, I mean, that's still pretty cheap, but I was kind of like, wow, I guess, Kutaru stuff demands a little price. Now, here's something I thought was interesting to come across. Okaja Shadow King, the Japanese version. Again, pretty cheap. I'm not sure what Okaja Shadow King prices for now. It's definitely a game I still recommend for people. Higawashi When They Cry on the PS2. Again, very cheap because there's much newer versions. Now this was, I believe, up to here, or maybe it was this. I don't know if this was part of this store or yeah, because I think I think these are at the book off over here. I'm not 100% sure if this was at this store or if this was at the book off. This might have also been at the book off. Maybe. Let me look at the labels, because obviously book off has a particular type of label there. No, I think this is at this store because they don't have those kind of labels. So these are at the book off. Now, this title is still for sale on PlayAsia. This is a one of those fan servicey type games I'm talking about. I found so many of these fan servicey games that are usually 10,000 plus yen. Like, they seem to hold a lot of price, a lot of value. Now, this book off was a pretty big location that had a lot of floors to it, and they had quite a lot of stuff behind bars as well. Like here we have Lufia 2 for 9,000 yen. We do the conversion is $58, which I mean that's a lot better than what it is in America. But and also let me tell you, if you go to Japan, get a fucking credit card. Find a credit card that does not charge you based on foreign money exchange. That is apparently pretty common with most credit cards, but it is something you do want to double check that they don't charge you additional fees. It is a very, very great. Honestly, I will start probably because I'm testing the models with some of the limited companies that are overseas and see how it differs from PayPal, and so far it seems like it does indeed have better weights than PayPal does. This is a pretty notorious beat 'em up game here, if it's the white one I'm thinking of. That, but yeah, there's a lot of interesting things. I have one of these Ackman games on the SNES that I got for cheap. It was just a loose cartridge. Hey, there was some Goemon there. But yeah, some of these are okay prices, some of these are pretty high. Like, it just really depends. Like, I'm not too familiar with the local Japanese market, so I had to really wing what's good and bad and such. And that, oh, you know, I didn't actually catch that. There's some fucking Metal Max sitting there. I didn't actually notice those. Those much later where I found some Metal Max. But I didn't actually catch those there. Woo! Very interesting to actually see in the photo. I tried to not linger too much unless I was actually generally looking at something, because a lot of these places are very compact. Like, there is not a lot of wiggle room. So if you're not actually doing something productive, you need to get the hell out of the way, basically. Mega Man games had a pretty decent price. We're looking at a lot of 8,000 stuff here. So 8,000 would be 52-ish dollar range area. So pretty pricey, to be honest. Now these, I have a game that's in a box similar shape to this, but it is this is not the game. It came with a map and stuff for that, but it looks very similar to a Famicom game, and it was also by Namco, which is Namco of that. Namco. But yeah, we got some Shimitense If. Ooh, that looks like a familiar game that someone played and did some videos on. But yeah, it was interesting to see games that I do know, or recognize, or familiar with. It definitely helps to know some stuff. I believe that is a Konami game. I think that's like a penguin, a game where you gotta like run towards the screen and stuff and like avoid food or something. I might be thinking the wrong thing maybe there. We get some Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest was kind of interesting. A lot of the, like, you could find a lot of cartridges pretty cheap, but sometimes like I would see different prices for like complete versions. So like here's Dragon Quest 1 for 10,000. That seems pretty extreme. I'm pretty sure I saw a lot of cartridges of Famicom and SNES games very reasonable priced, so that one's pretty up there. Now I am aware Japan is very, like, seriously, like in the collector market, if a game has little minor damage, they will discount the price. Ooh, I have a copy of a loose copy of that. I think I have a loose copy of that, and I can't remember if I have a box copy of the sequel. I can't really remember. But yeah, clipped stuff seemed kind of all over the place at times from store to store. But yeah, a lot of it depends on the condition a lot of times. But it seems like, man, it looked like I can't tell if that's 7,000 or 17,000. That's kind of hard to see. And that looks like 9,000. That's the 1 and 2 version. I'm glad I bought those a long time ago. I saw very few copies of the Game Boy Advance models, and they were expensive. Get some Final Fantasy 1, it looks like. I'm pretty sure that's the... Was that 2? It might be... I'm trying to remember, like, I'm not, the most, familiar with some of the, NES, the Famicom artwork with, some of the... It's equal to 2 or 1. I'm 100% sure that's not 3, though. Oh, there's no copy of that. Labyrinth. Then we had the shelves. Now, this place, I was by myself. We were kind of free exploring at this point, so I had a lot of time to look through this stuff. Again, I mostly stuck to the older stuff. The Vita and the 3DS were basically the newest thing I bothered to go through. I did not go through like PS4 and PS5 and stuff like that. I went through like DS software, PS2, PS1 and stuff. So I tried to take some good pictures here. It is pretty cool seeing how much shit they had here. All kinds of loose cartridges. I mean, something I would probably try if I go again would be to get like a list with pictures of the stuff I'm interested in and see if maybe the staff can help me. I know one of the trader stores advertised that you could get help from the staff. Now, this is a book off, like I said, so I'm not really sure if book off helps you much. Now, I had to take a picture of this. For anyone who knows, this is the fucking GBA Lufia game. It is 24,000 yen. Now, anyone who knows me knows I actually played this. 24,000 yen is $156. Now, I am going to really quickly check price charting. Because I have no idea what it goes for. So I'm kind of curious. It probably goes for a ridiculous amount. So Lufia Wounds Allure currently goes for 60 loose, 161 cribbed, and 242 boxed. Now, if you know me, because I have played through and beaten this game, I'm so glad I bought this game really fucking cheap. I think I got it for like 19 or something a long time ago. This game is horseshit, one of the worst. Like, it's up there with like Lunar Dragon Song. This game is pretty fucking awful. It's unbalanced. Its RPG job system is pretty fucking awful. While I liked the idea of introducing a Pokemon monster kind of system as an addition to your party members, it is pretty undercooked and kind of wasted time to really invest in my experience of the game. There's probably a way to get something incredibly broken maybe out of it if you know the exact things to do, but like in a blind playthrough, it seems pretty gabosh at the end of the day. Like at the end, I kind of regret investing into it once I got all the main characters in my group. So honestly, that surprised me, because this game is really fucking awful. So I can't believe how much that is in Japan. Like, I just, like, I would think it would be very worthless. Ooh, you know, I missed that. The Game Boy Wars. Wow. Now, I can't, wait. So, wait. So, I mean, Advance Wars is technically part of the Game Boy Wars. Now, is that supposed to be the Advance Wars? It says Advance, so I think those are actually Advance Wars, actually. Maybe. I don't know. Ooh, you know, I got that from Jimmy Hopper. I'm not sure. You know, Jimmy, if you're watching this, I'm very curious. How much, like, equivalent did you sell that to me I'm not saying that because I want to know whether I was whipped off or not. I just, I mean that like out of general curiosity. Because wow, 20. Let's do some more conversion this here. 22. We'll just go with 22 so I don't have to. It's basically like 150 bucks. Ow, damn, that's expensive. But yeah, I think that's Princess Makeover though, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, lots of stuff that's pricey. Ooh, that one got a little blurred. Oof. Bad camera. It's phone cameras for you. Look who that Nord in the fucking reflecting there. What the fuck, man? We got the controllers and stuff here. Now, here's something I thought was weird. If anyone knows The Snowman, it's an animation. Like, I saw it all the time, like, when I was in school and shit. Like, it is a Christmas animation. It's very artsy. It won several awards and stuff. And I was like, what the hell? They made a video game? Like, either this is supposed to just be a fucking video, or they made a game of it, which I don't know. It was 900 yen. I mean, technically I could probably bought it, but like, I was trying to be mindful of how much stuff I could get. I mean, next time, definitely am going to plan, like, my main problem when I did this trip is I bought essentially a week's worth of clothing with me because I was going to be in Japan for 2 weeks. Do not recommend doing that. If you're going to buy shit, at least. Definitely recommend, like, maybe, like, 2 or 3 things and then just fucking wash them, like, you know, each day and let them hang to dry or whatever, or that, something like that. Because, honestly, I really, like, I bought 3 pairs of pants and 3 pairs of shorts. I didn't use any of the pants. I bought them in case it was too cold. I wasn't, like, I had mixed information on what the weather was going to be like, and definitely don't recommend pants during October, at least. It was pretty warm. Shorts were perfect and excellent for the trip. So, my pants became padding for packaging and protecting stuff. Now, I got 2 photos because there's a glare here, but let's go over some of this stuff. So this is the stuff I got at the book off. That was just some RPG. This is a Tales game here on the DS. Let's see if I can waddle my hands over here. So that is Tales of the World Unita. It looks like it is a tactics style game, and I was not familiar with this particular one. I have over the years been working on some of the Tales spin-off games. There's a lot of crossover titles that have never came over to America. Speaking of which, this was very nice. Tales of Fandom. I've heard of these. Never had any of them. So this was volume 1. It was fucking 480 yen. That is cheap. Also, did I take wait a minute, because those are technically, because I guess maybe it's somewhere later. I might have not took the photo when I first had the opportunity. But that other shop, I actually found Tales of Fandom 2 over there, I believe. I'm pretty sure I found it over there. I probably have a photo here later of it, so give me some time to probably dig it up here. But anyway, so that was 480 yen. That was really cheap. It's cribbed. Now, the majority of these are cribbed. Now, there are a few things here that aren't. Like this wizardry game here is not cribbed. It was. So this is an example of them discounting shit. So with normally, I got 2 wizardry games and a Capcom horror game. They all usually go for like 80, 100 plus on eBay. but because all 3 of them were missing the manual, they were basically like $40, 35, $40 for that. So I got them on the extreme cheap. As I said, I had another Taku Drum Master game. This one was a little bit more expensive, 900, still very cheap though. This was a RPG by Namco. So at the other store, I found a particularly interesting title. Oh, and I think that one didn't have a booklet in it either. That might have been one as well. Here's another Popo Loco Crisis game. I'm not really familiar with most of these other than the PSP entry and the one like formal one we got in the 3DS that's crossover with Harvest Moon. I know that the PSP game is 1 and 2 merged together in a weird hybrid with a lot of cut content. And that's about the most I really know about Popo Loco Crisis, other than it had some other games. So I'm interested to maybe check these out one day. Now, that'll be in the next photo. Now, this is an interesting title. This is a Konami game. I actually watched a YouTube video on this, and I was very happy to come across this at a cheaper price. And I obviously checked these like online, because if I was able to get them cheap online, I was going to do that. And this is what I was saying, like, there was definitely a mock-up market. Like, something I've heard lately is there's people like going to Japan, buying fucking games and just reselling them overseas and shit. And I believe it. I really do, because it is amazing how cheap these are. And then you look on eBay, like this Tales of Fandom, like it was like $20 on eBay. Like it 480 there. Like the reminder what 480 is. 480 is 314 currently in exchange of American money. Like that is a big markup on eBay, right? Big markup. Anyway, so now we can get a closer look at this. This was just some RPG. It was 300, really cheap. This some people might be familiar with. So this technically did come to America, but only digitally. I didn't know there was a physical version of this. It is considered a awful game. It was 700 yen, so it's like, sure, why not? Why not? So what we got over here is Xenosaga 3. I have 1 and 2. I never got my hands on 3, so I'm like, it's 1,800, I guess. I guess if I ever get to that point, I at least have some means to play it. Maybe playing through 1 and 2 will make it where it's not too tricky to play. So here's an expensive wizardry game on the PS2. Now, here's something interesting about this. Would you believe me that the engine for this game would be what creates Class of Heroes? So interestingly, the people who made this wizardry game went off to make Class of Heroes, and they used this wizardry engine of this game. So that was something very bizarrely interesting to learn about. And of course, the other game that I said is very expensive, Gregory Horror Show Soul Collector. This actually came out in Europe. Of course, this is the Japanese version, which is still very expensive. The PAL one, I think, is more expensive because it has English. Sadly, the Japanese version does not. This is a very strange survival horror game. I know a little bit about it. I remember watching a random video about it and how it was really expensive, and it is not something I ever expected to see, let alone actually own. So that was a pretty interesting thing. Now this is going to be more like a tourist checking out kind of thing going on over here. So this is the Super Potato. This was the Akuhaba location. Apparently there is at least one other Super Potato. I'm not that familiar with the Super Potato. I just know it is a really big game store. Now, I got here a little early, so the store was not open yet. But I was able to look around because you had to go up a few floors to get up, and each floor that was related, which I think was these 3 and up, related to the Super Potato, all had different things on them and that. But yeah, they had a lot of post stores and memes and things, so it was pretty nice. Warning: do not throw trash in the hallways, on stairs, or in cardboard boxes. If you throw it away, it might bring you bad luck. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, they had a lot of posters and things all over the place and that. It's a real shame, like, I guess stores have been dealing with little from tourists, which, man, too many people live in fucking New York or something, I tell you. Because I can tell you, as someone who's been in New York, the place is a fucking rat-infested landfill. Sorry if you live in New York, but I hope it's gone better since I've been there. I mean, to be fair, I haven't been there since like a freaking decade, but Japan is a very nice and clean place for the most part. Little was very far in between in that, so yeah, it was interesting seeing a lot of these posters. Some of these are fan-made, some of these are actual things. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think what this is like, these are games we want, I think. I'm not sure. They're kind of set up like wanted posters, but I'm not 100% sure. Oop. They also had these. This is a neat idea. Sadly, some of them showed where these are the stairs, but they had cut sections of poster out to build up onto the stairs side there or that. But yeah, they just had all kinds of stuff all over the place. Of course, you have the mascot himself for the saddle now, the legend, the man, the legend. But yeah, lots of nice posters and shit. Honestly, I'm surprised some people don't try to steal this shit. It's nice to know it's there, because, you know, there are horrible people that would do that. So it's good to know at least it doesn't seem like people have tried that. I would hope not, but you know how some people are. But there are some very nice posters all over the place here on that. So, but yeah, it was very good that I showed up early, because a lot of these photos in the hallway area, there was not a lot of room out here in the staircase hallway area of this location. So, when it did open up and I started looking around the store, yeah, this is a very crowded location. So, I'm very glad I was able to get a lot of these photos, because, like I said, there are some very lovely photos. Now, I'm going to say this. I did not buy a single thing at this place. So, I'm not going to have a lot of good stuff to say about the Super Potato. I don't think I saw a single thing that was, like, a really, like, reasonably good price. Like, I saw a lot of shit that was very, very fucking expensive. I mean, good lord, look at some of this shit. Like, how much is that? That is really fucking high. So, 228,800 yen. That is 1,495 fucking dollars. Lord. Look here, Battletoads for 52,000. Fucking 500,000, 440,000. 121. What? What the fuck? I mean, and I saw some stuff that I already got. But yeah, this place had all kinds of shit behind glass. I mean, I just like, holy shit, the prices. Oop, I keep accidentally hitting the side arrows. You have to apologize. Now, as much as the prices were horrendous to me, the location was pretty nice. They had lots of trinkets and lovely things all over the place. We got Wob, the robot here. Wob's always, you know, cool bean to see in that. And of course, you had consoles and shit. But man, again, prices. Holy shit, let's see, 32,000 for a Master System. I mean, I don't know what used prices on systems these days, because, you know, there's not a lot of stuff I don't have. Sadly, we have a broken Virtual Boy here, but they have a Virtual Boy stand thing here. I saw a few Virtual Boy stuff for that in Saturn. Oh, and they got a lot of sample things. I guess they're afraid of theft and that. Of course, a lot of these are, like this one here is a very expensive title that, but yeah, I didn't see very, very good prices at this place. Now, Jimmy says if you look around, like here we go, we got something that's 418 yen, there we go. Like, if you look around, you can find deals. Now, I'll tell you outright, like, it's not easy looking through. Like, when you got stuff on display like this, obviously it's easier to look as a foreigner, because spines obviously have very limited English. Very, like, you know, you might have 1 out of every 20 maybe might have a little bit of English in the spine. But yeah, obviously it's kind of hard to look through a lot of this stuff, and again, this was a very, very crowded building once people started showing up. Let's see. Didn't get that price win on now. Looks like 7,128 yen for the the Famicom Goemon game. Like, I mean, this shit was expensive. Fuck. Like, it was just, I couldn't believe how expensive some shit here. Now, here's some stuff that's actually a little bit, I don't know if it's a really good price considering how expensive it, like, I'll have some examples here. So we got 1,188 for the Tom Sawyer RPG, if anyone's familiar with that. I did a Let's Play on that. I own a cribbed copy of that. That is a Squaresoft RPG. Very weird game indeed. I played it, from what I understand, apparently there's an English patch for it now, but back when I played it, it had no English patch, and it didn't even have a good English guide. The only English guide, actually, like, there was this section where you had to go up, well, he wanted you to go up a level that had high-level enemies, and his advice was to grind until you could go up it. But you're supposed to actually go see a character, get her to join your party, so you could get a, like, ferry ticket or something, and you could get to the next town that level connects to, and that level is supposed to be a shortcut back to old areas, not the other way around. I remember sending that person who made that guide about that, because I found that out by looking at Japanese guides and translating them. But yeah, now see here. Now here's like funny. You know, we saw that $10,000 cribbed copy of Dragon Quest 1. Here's Dragon Quest 4,800. Dragon Quest 2,600. Now these are loose cartridges, to be fair. So here's Dragon Quest 1. Man, that's kind of interesting. See, Dragon Quest 1 is actually more than 2. But that's funnily, interestingly, to see these at these kind of prices compared to a lot of this other shit that's here too. Here we get some Ultima. But yeah, I tried to take some pictures of different hallway areas and that. Some more Goemon stuff. But yeah, I didn't get to look around too much in here. I actually kind of wanted to buy one of these. So these are the Famicom discs. If you've never personally seen one. I hit the damn arrow. I don't have a disc system. And to be honest, owning a disc isn't really that big of a deal, because these are very easy to copy and pirated and shit, which is why over time Nintendo moved away from them. But honestly, like, I was like, if I saw one for like 100 something, I might buy one, but I never saw one that low. The few I ever saw were like ones like this that didn't actually have cover art stuff, which was a shame, because like I said, it would have been a nice little little thing for like the shelf kind of display thing to just be like, see, this is a Famicom thing. But yeah, they had lots of controller thingamabobs that, but like I said, it was pretty nice. They had lots of funny artwork stuff and that up. But yeah, honestly, considering a lot of the prices were pretty high, like I don't know, I got really torn away from really looking around here too much. Jimmy says you can find deals, and you probably can if you look through all this kind of stuff. But yeah, I kind of like got torn off away from it. I was just like, wow, because I mean, I know I took some pictures of some stuff. I wish I could find them here. Ooh, now I have a box copy of Live a Live, 11,000. Yeah, and that one's a really expensive one. Now that's interesting. Wasn't that other one we saw actually 9,000? So that's actually interesting. That's actually 200 low. Oh wait, there's a squiggly line. So it's a range. So I guess it depends on how complete it is, maybe. I have Knights of the Round on the SNES. Bad condition. Ooh. Got some of the Mega Mans. Ooh, yeah, those are a little high. Oop. Damn it, I keep hitting the fucking arrow thing. But yeah, your best bet to look for a good deal is probably to go through the cartridges. Now that I like have some experience going through some of these stores and a little bit of idea, because obviously I didn't want to buy anything too expensive unless I was really familiar with it to some extent. A lot of Saga, Lady Stalker. I got a copy of Lady Stalker. And I got most of the SNES. Hey, ooh, those. I wasn't expecting to see that soon. It's actually kind of funny looking back at some of the things I didn't actually catch. And I would have actually loved to look through some of the handheld stuff. Loose cartridge handheld stuff's kind of tricky. Vermilion. This is a pretty hated game in the West. It's more funny artwork. And of course, yeah, it's Super Pitfall. One of the, not what I would expect somebody to hang up as some how should I say, artistic decor for the store. Got some Saga. Of course, you have some GBA, Final Fantasies and stuff. Some Bonk there. You can see the little Bonk. I think that's Sakura Wars though. I have a loose copy of that, I believe. And of course, the Pokemon. Oh, they are so fucking expensive. I just don't know how. Like, how is Pokemon so expensive? It's one of the most fucking common games ever. Of course, some more Booba type stuff, fan servicey things, card captors. Like, I don't know how Pokemon is so expensive. There's so many fucking Pokemon games. Like, some of the most pointed fucking games in the world. Makes no sense. Hey, look, there's a Boktai. I was trying to look for the third Boktai. I only found it at one store. Hey, one of the Dragon Quest IV spin-offs, you know, the Magic Dungeon series. I'm not sure how. I think that's supposed to be like a 2D version of the third one on the PS3, I think? No, the PS2. I'm not really too familiar. I have the PS2 version. That one might be based on the SNES version of that. Oof, Mother 3 for 18,000. Ooh, it's kind of scary seeing some JRPGs that are expensive. You always hear like JRPGs were like fucking FPSs in the West in Japan, and for the most part they're all cheap RPGs. But like some of the more well-known ones are definitely starting to demand some money. Ah, damn it! Keep doing that. Thanks. did a video on that particular game. Hunchback. Wow, that looks like some weird artwork now. Ah, deal. Hey, I know. That's that one anime. And with like a D. Got Metroid. Three Dirty Dwarves. Man, this is a really expensive game. I remember I could have gotten that on the American version for cheap in the old days when we had a games exchange. But nope, I passed on it. And so much fucking money. It's so expensive. See, that's that Cannon Strike or whatever it's called. I have a loose disc copy that I got a long time ago. Got that, man. Dreamcast is pretty pricey over there too. Oof, of course, shmups. Shmups always hear all the expensive things in Japan, but yeah. Definitely kind of scary seeing some stuff being pretty pricey over there. Dude, fuck, come on. This place, I tell you. Oh, those magical school. Fucking 12,000 yen. Ooh. Yeah, some of these prices just really scare me. Like, it's like, oh my goodness. I'm not used to seeing Game Gear games be expensive. I mean, Japan had some good Game Gear games that... But yeah, it's sad seeing stuff like this because, like, for the most part, it's like, I have no idea what the majority of this shit is. That's Space Channel. And then, of course, you got the Sonic CD there, but, like, a lot of this other shit, like, it sucks being a foreigner when they have stuff like that. Oh, man. Pretty crazy seeing some of these prices and stuff. I mean, like, I have a fair number of SNES games that I got for cheap. I got that for, like, super cheap a long time ago. 7,000. And again, like I said, I don't know how trustworthy you could think some of these prices are, because I found some of this stuff. I thought I took pictures of it. Might be on the floor, so you could buy these Super Potato t-shirts. I was thinking of getting one, but I was kind of like, even those are pretty expensive. Now, here's a really nice artwork. We got somebody clearly is a fan of a certain VTuber here. You got one of those plastic things and a little dog and that. Now, you might recognize this was not where I got that, but it's kind of funny. It's sitting now. Yeah, we got some Castlevania. 25,000 for Portrait of Ruin. Holy shit, that's expensive. Wow, 10,000. What? Whoa, wait, those are. Wow, those are English versions. I didn't even notice those. There was a store I found. I believe it was Trader that had English stuff. I missed that. 10,000. I have that. That's a terrible version of River City Ransom, by the way. Just a FYI. That is like fucking $70. Fuck. Well, I guess if I want $70 worth of fucking yen, I guess I know what to bring and sell. Not that they would give you that exact amount. It's an interesting looking cover. Neo Geo 40th Anniversary Mini. Oh man. I really like. I have to say, the Super Potato, you need to know your stuff a lot more, because the prices for stuff was really interesting for some of the stuff. I really liked the look of the store, though. It had lots of nice artwork, like I said. We have a Persona Q guidebook. They did have a selection guidebooks. And again, soundtracks. They actually had a shelf of all kinds of soundtracks. Then we got PlayStation stuff here. Let's take a look. We got Alcalad 1 for 2,500. Keep in mind, Alcalad 1, 2, 3, Monster, and Casino were all separate games in Japan. Unlike us, we didn't get the Casino game, but we did get the Monster Arena with our collection of it. Here's a Wizardry game. Ugh, I would have loved to get in a lot of Wizardry games, but they were very expensive. Wizardry was very expensive. I did see a Brave Fencer Musashi, lovely game. Definitely recommend Brave Fencer Musashi. But yeah, next time if I go again, I definitely would want to try to take a closer look at some of the stuff now that, like I said, I kind of have a better idea of some of the prices after going. Like, this was like the third store I really got to go to at. Like, little boobyish-y. But yeah, we have some more modern-ish titles down here. Old Heroes. So many games that never fucking came to America. But yeah, like, you have to manually look through these if you don't know Japanese. It can be a pain. Hey, is that the... Hey, that's Cross Edge. That's that game that guy sued everyone over for Edge until EA was like, "Oh no, you fucking didn't, did you, bitch?" That's funny to actually see that. It's not even that much. Oh, we got Alone in the Dark, demanding an outstanding 2,000 yen. Wow, that's pretty pricey for Alone in the Dark, actually. That's actually kind of strangely priced. Oh man, maybe it's not super common over there or something. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe Japan just has a higher tolerance for terrible board games. Maybe. Terrifying stuff. Of course, we got more trinkets and shit. I was kind of surprised. I wanted to find more of those mystery box Polygon Final Fantasy VII mystery box figurines. Jimmy Hopper gave me one of Yuffie that came with a save point. I would have loved to get a Tifa of that, but I never found any anywhere. So they must have been out of print. You probably have to get them used now or something, which is a bit of a shame. But the one thing I found tons of is this there's a lot of educational language DS games, and boy, there are many copies of them at a lot of the used stores. They would have shelves just devoted to please, for the love of humanity, buy this shit, please. Get some more posters and stuff. Super paper. Nice little Final Fantasy. And here are some of the handheld stuff. PSP. We got some Suikoden. I really hope the new version of Suikoden 1 and 2 is not fucking bulked. I really hope not. I really loved the Suikoden series. It was so sad seeing it fucking die off. Really good series of games. Now, so this I found. So I'll be fair here. It does advertise brand new factory seal. I want to point out, I didn't take a picture of it, but way back at that first book off, it had a whole shitload of these for I don't know, like 1,000 or 2,000 yen. They weren't like very expensive. So like to me that seemed kind of weird to fucking see it, even though it's brand new. Now here was a nice thing to find: a whole bunch of TurboGrafx 16 fucking games. Of course, playing these on the American unit is not easy because you need a converter that, as far as I know, is out of stock. As far as I know, nobody ever fucking made like a newer version of it or anything. So, and even then, I think there's some compatibility issues with it. A lot of those weren't too really expensive, to be honest, but there weren't any that really popped out to anything that I'm too familiar with. So, we got lots of Dragon Quest, of course. There's always Dragon Quest. These paper theater things are really neat. Basically, these are all different layers of paper, and they're layered over each other, and they give like a 3D effect. It's very popular. There was a lot of different stuff. There was a whole bunch of Studio Ghibli ones we found at a store that was really nice. Now here's an interesting example of what I'm talking about. So let me get my copy here. So this is that time travel level 5 game I pointed out. So my copy does have a booklet. It of course has the game, and it's complete with its artwork in it. It was 1,100 yen. There's no damage on it that I can see. Everything looks perfect to me. And yet, they are selling it for almost 4,000 yen. And I was like, oh yeah, this is holy shit. What a whip. And then, ironically, the exact same system, again, found, I think this was, what was it, 1,900 yen? So the price difference isn't as big of a difference between the other one, but still, there's a difference here. Now, be fair, mine was a best version. This is an OG version they have here. And the little booklet thing does have a little bend in it. Not that it's much of a booklet. Similar to the American market, great value, the greatest hits and shit can deem different price values from the OG versions. It's usually the OG versions more than the greatest hits version, but there are some cases where it's the other way around, which are weird cases. But again, just on the basis of the game, though, very different price, but Super Potato definitely caters to a collector market, so I'm going to assume that costs more because it's an OG version. Again, like I said, you could get some Super Potato merch. I thought about getting one, but I kind of passed because I didn't really get anything. I really like the art style of how this was done here. Very nice. I liked it a lot of the now this was funny, like silverware. There was a lot of nice Dragon Quest stuff. We had some of the music games. This is the little drum thing. These never came to America, really. There was a music kit thing that Konami brought over because of the Guitar Hero boom, to try and capitalize on that. Otherwise, we didn't see bunch of those stuff. So we got a bunch of Game & Watch stuff here, and holy crap. Sell your soul now. Yeah, I think I got a different picture of that up there. Got some more, lots and lots of stuff that's really expensive. We got some Wonder Swans though. I didn't see a whole bunch of Wonder Swan stuff. I don't know if Wonder Swan is maybe coming a little hard to come by, or maybe I just didn't go to the white stores. Now here's something interesting. I actually have this game. This is a little witch game. That is like, it's like a little witch sim game thing of that. It blows my mind that it is fucking 32,000 fucking yen. I wouldn't call it anything mind-blowing, but yeah, unless I'm thinking of the completely wrong game, but I'm pretty sure it had that cover art. I would have to go dig it out. But if it is the game I'm thinking of, I got for literally just a few dollars or possibly free from like, because when GameStop used to do a lot of those buy two get one free fucking deals, or the very well buy one get one free deals, I bought a shitload of just random shit for the DS for dollars. And I'm pretty sure that is a game that I played on one of my breaks when I used to do that. This, if anyone's familiar with this game, this is a notorious booba fan servicey game, and I saw it 2 times. This was the first time, and I saw it somewhere else. They are very pricey. They are up there in price if you want those. I was surprised to see this. I have both 1 and 2 of these, and I even saw them. You can see another one. I think that's a sequel back there. They are very expensive. I think the trader ones I found were cheaper, but they were also very expensive. I'm very surprised how fucking expensive they are. I don't know how much they are in America. That is an interesting question. Let's actually take a look at it, shall we? If I can find it yet. What the hell? Let me make sure I had spelled right. Let's see. American loose 52, cribbed 105, new 200. PAL $7 loose, cribbed 76, and new 146. That's a really weird price. I mean, fucking $7 for loose copy for the PAL version. Sounds like the version to get. Let's see, can we get the... Of course, just doing that really brings up a lot of different stuff. Can I limit this to... Yes. Sequel, 66 loose, 96 for quib, man. And what's interesting, it does not actually list any fucking Japanese copies. So let's take a look at eBay out of curiosity. Let's see. Wow, a lot of people are selling that postal. The case, cartridge 51. There are no Japanese listings anywhere here. These are all... Oh, here's a Japanese one. Japanese with no box... without box manual. For $113. Fuck. There's another Japanese one here. 139. Wow. This is a very expensive game in Japan. I'm kind of curious why it's so fucking high. Actually, that's pretty bizarre. Holy crap! That is very interesting to see. We got some. I think that's Metal Slug 7. I believe was the one on the DS. That's pretty up there too. It looks like. Now, of course, these I know are expensive. Like I said, I saw them at Trader, which was very nicely priced. But for a lot of stuff I saw there, so but yeah, like I said, there definitely is some stuff that's expensive. We get some Neo Geo Pocket stuff here, which I also didn't see a whole lot of. So I'm assuming Neo Geo Pocket is also not easy to come across. These are Neo Geo cartridges. I've never saw Neo Geo cartridges before, so those were very interesting to see. Of course, they were very expensive. Now, here's a whole bunch of TurboGrafx 16 games, which, you know, were more pricier than those other ones. We got the New Zealand story there. But, you know, not absolutely horrifically priced. I had my thumb there, though. There we go. We got a better angle there on that. Then we got some questionable maybe things here, like there's a lot of big box visual novel and waifu style games. Like, they are everywhere. Now, here's something funny. So, this is the 3D collection thing. Now, I do have that that I got from Video Games Plus. Now, this is 1, 2, 3. So I'm not sure if this is like 3. Like, I don't know. Like, the American one has this as its cover, but it looks like this might be like a collection of 3 different things. I guess Sega did some other titles as well, which I wasn't familiar with, but kind of interesting to learn about. And man, so many things are expensive. Let's see, what we got here? We got something with like a big Z on it. Now, here's something I thought was weird. Xenosaga 1, 2 on the DS. I don't know fucking anything about that. I've never actually heard of that I at least recall. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to be somehow a port of the PS1 game. Like, you know, I'm kind of curious right now since that reminded me about that. Let's see, the impression of Xenosaga DS is worth playing in order to fully understand, appreciate it, or is it really the... Let's see, since I heard it was a retelling of the first 2 games, and what it does a better job with episode 2 visually. It looks kind of bland to me, but I see myself putting up with the donut. Let's see, I would give up to Unfortunately, there was a recent news that Namco decided not to remaster it because it wouldn't be profitable. So it looks like it's some kind of retelling that I'm not really sure. Let's see, it's the wiki page lists it as a RPG, single player RPG mode. First portable game began in scenario drafted and was intended to retell the story of the 2 games while incorporating events that had originally been cut. The game was released exclusively in Japan and received general positive reviews. It was not commercially a success. So apparently this actually has expanded story in it. That's kind of interesting. Very interesting. I don't see... Oh, wait. There's, I see what looks like maybe if in the back, though. That looks like Shin Tensei 4, though. And of course, we got Cotton. Oh, wait. No, that's that other one, isn't it? That's either Cotton or that other shmup game with a... yeah, I think that's that other one, actually, which is still very expensive. I mean, holy crap. Whoo boy. Very expensive shit. Yeah, I think that's that other one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that other one. But there was indeed some Cotton. We have here, of course, Rondo of Blood, which is always so fucking expensive. And yeah, I think this is when I caught my eye on that Xenosaga. I was like, huh, never heard of that. So that's interesting to do a little research on. Is that a toy? Japanese toy. Of course, we got a lot of controls and stuff. Lane. Now, I wanted to find a Pocket Station. Now, I saw these, and of course, with all the other prices and shit, I was like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna buy these here. I'll find some. I had no luck finding a Pocket Station anywhere else. So, if I ever go back, I would definitely want to ask employees about a Pocket Station. I want to find a Pocket Station. I want a Pocket Station. Give me a Pocket Station. The Fatal Flame. Holy fuck. Whoa! Yeah, not a lot of Xbox games that are pricey, but Fatal Flame is definitely up there. Apparently there were way too many people like touching shit. I thought this was funny. But yeah, this was on the top floor. They had a arcade up here with some statues. I'm not sure what is up with this Metal Gear a snake statue here. It was leaning sideways, so I think it was damaged. This was pretty neat. It's this big Game Boy kiosk thing here. Then I think we were back on the streets here. So this was Trader. So there are, I think there were 2 Trader stores, 2 or 3 I went through. They were definitely what I would recommend going to, that I thought I had a good experience at. So Trader does have figurines and stuff as well. You can find lots of figurines, but they have lots of games too. And again, it was a pretty crowded store. It has lots of fucking figurines and stuff. Like, seriously, like, if you love figurines, you are going to find lots of them. But yeah, they had a decent amount of software. And again, you know, it's kind of funny seeing Dragon Quest games. Like, 4,000 is probably one of the more expensive prices I saw for Dragon Quest there. But I mean, I think 6 is kind of hard. Now, here's what was interesting. This location, so if you're familiar, Strictly Limited did con on a big box con, and here's a premium at this Trader store. And then here's a, I believe this is a limited 1 release. So like this store had imports. Now here was some nice, the Metal Max games on the DS, all limited edition ones. So these are really hard to fucking get. Like, it was hard to find good deals on these. I was able to get clipped copies of 3 and 2 Reloaded, but I had to get a loose copy of 4. 4 is very expensive. I did not like. It was interesting to see that even in Japan itself, Max is still pretty pricey. So its online prices are pretty on par with the local. But there was a lot of stuff. Now I'm not sure what if these were like advertising like posters or if they were saying you would get these with the game. I'm not sure. And here was a Project Tohu game. It wasn't actually super expensive, 5,000 some yen. That's probably more like the normal price range of a brand new video game. Let's see, that's about $35 of that. So I mean, that's not too bad. It was a PS5 one. I'm not sure what it was. If it wasn't like a big box fucking thing, I would have probably been maybe interested in grabbing it, but yeah, like I was quickly running out of room with a lot of shit, let alone having to deal with this Hell Rising. Again, this was a strictly limited, so it was. It's kind of interesting seeing this place had a lot of imports. Now, this was interesting because I wasn't aware there was actually a Japanese physical version of Skullgirls for the Vita. So that was interesting to see. I wasn't familiar with that. Of course, you have the booba games, you know. They have their monies, and they're definitely not. These ones aren't ungodly expensive. There were some that were really fucking expensive, but yeah. Of course, lots of figurines. I think this was at a different store. I think these ones. No, they might have been still at Tradle then. Yeah, they still have the Tradle price. Woo-wee! 75. Ow, very expensive. Now here's interesting. So this is a remake of the second Saga game from the OG Game Boy series, or for those in American who aren't familiar with those games' history, came to America as Final Fantasy Legends 2. Then here's let's see, that one was boy. Did I get no, I didn't get a repitchable. There was that one notorious game on the DS as well. Little boy. Now this was funny to find. Again, this is a game I played on my breaks when I was doing some DS stuff on my breakage time before I started editing on my breaks. This was actually not a horrible game, to be honest, and 780 yen's like a really cheap price for it. If you're interested in what was it, Hotel Dusk, I believe it was called. This was from the same developers, and you could easily see a lot of similarities to ideas from this to Hotel Dusk, especially in the way you play like a book. So, like, if you're interested in that, I definitely recommend hunting down a copy of Gen. Mine is in English. Mine was a American version. It did come to America. So, but it was interesting coming across the Japanese version. But yeah, you hold it like a book, similar to Hotel Dusk and that. What's interesting is it uses like cutouts of actual like Western people versus the whole pencil shading kind of aesthetic. And then here we are. I found again the Unemployed Ninja games. Now let's see what those prices were. Look at those, vastly less. What was those? We're gonna go back here in time real quick here. What were those ones? I think they were in 79,000 something, right? Let's find those again real quick. I want to make a point about the Super Potato. I have it at, like, look at that, 79,000. Now I think that one is that the fourth. Wait, remember what it looks like on that. That's 76,000. I'm gonna look at the prices because this was both 1 and 2. That. So okay, so that's the one that the Super Potato had right there. So huge difference in price though. Huge difference. And see, like, if you're watching this, Jimmy, like, I again, I'm not saying the Super Potato was absolutely horrible, but man, this makes me just go, like, I'm not sure if I want to bother looking through too much though. I'll give it another chance if I ever come back over, but man, just every time I found something to compare to the Super Potato, it was like, fuck. Now, I don't know, like, because maybe this might be significant, because, again, a lot of these stores grade prices and shit based on the stuff they have and their condition and stuff. So, I do not know what these stickers say. I see that it has, you know, A, B, C, and that is the kind of grading system that Japan, like, basically uses in that stuff. So, I'm not quite familiar with all the text on here. Maybe somebody can explain that, Bill. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it's missing its manual or something. I'm not 100% sure, but again, for me, it just like, oof. And then this is, it looks like this might be like a best version kind of thing. Yeah, like I think this is like a best version. So that might also make this a little cheaper, but still, it just, oh, the price difference. And so, and here we go. Here's that, and here's one that it's even less. It's even fucking less. So, I don't know. I could scan the sticker with a Google Translate on my phone I'm pretty sure I have one here that's something here. Yeah, here, this still has sticker on it. Let's try. I'm gonna try the Google Translate. Maybe we can get a quick idea what this stuff on the sticker is supposed to say. Let's see. Nah, I think the text is too small. It's only getting bits of it. So, yeah, we might need a more professional who's familiar comment on what some of this gobbledygook means, because I think it's too small and bunched up for the Google Translate to work. Now, here's Metal Dogs, the last the Metal Max game that Katakawa did. It was a spin-off. This is a limited edition. And, you know, again, if I had space, like, I would have probably been kind of curious. Because, I mean, that's just 3,180. That's not too bad. There was lots of limited edition. Now, this is the outside. Now, this is at a completely different store here. I took a picture, if I can... There. This was the store. It was in a big building that had, like, I don't know, like 7 flights of escalators. So, this was one of the few modern games I actually bought going here, was this fucking thing. So, this was a Capcom game. When it was first announced, a lot of people thought it was going to be a new Dino Crisis game, and it was not. As you can see, it is fucking 380 yen. 380 fucking yen. That's nothing. Like, the game is still like $29 on Amazon in America. So I was like, well, fuck, that's like $1.50 or something like that. Like, fuck. Well, I mean, even if it doesn't have English, it's a shooting game. So I was like, fuck, sure, I'll buy it. It does have English on it. So this was a fantastic way to get this game. It's an online only game. So that's the kind of price point I love for that kind of thing. And I had to really illustrate how horrible this game must have been in Japan when this fucking game costs more than fucking it. Like, it's just like, it must have bombed really bad. And here is Saga 3 for the original Game Boy. I did not buy that. It was just nice to really see. Like I said, it's really neat seeing a lot of these games. Man, Pokemon is so fucking expensive. Why? Here we are. We have Dragon Quest Monsters here. Kid Dracula. Ooh. 19,000. I saw that somewhere else too. It was just a cartridge version. Dragon Quest 2, 4,000. Oh, I was really kind of debating buying this Wizardry game here. 4,000. That's not the worst price in the universe for some of the Wizardry games, but oh man, like at this point I was starting to get too many games, and I was starting to have to like really have some self-control, because I was just like, oh, I want to get more shit, but ooh, man, there's a Telefantasia for the Super Nintendo. So good. I really wish we had a good version of that over here. We just got the GBA version, which was butchered with the Kangaroo Town and fucking took out the fucking theme song. I don't know why they did that. Damn it, I keep hitting the fucking arrow when I'm dragging around here. We got Golden Sun, Metroid, Metal... Holy shit. 84,000. Fuck. Ooh, man, that's expensive. Yeah, that's the artwork for the PS2, the third entry of that, so I'm not sure how similar that is. Man, fuck, I tell you, Pokemon. The Caravan Hearts game, Mother 3, like the Mother games. It's interesting to see. I don't know, like, if Mother didn't sell well in Japan, like, you know, always under the impression that like it did well, that it was really popular and shit. Like, I don't know if they just didn't have a lot of units, or I don't know. Also, tip, by the way, tip, while we're here. We didn't go into a lot of tips. Tax-free. Pay attention if you see stores that are tax-free. I did not take advantage of this as much because I wasn't familiar with it, but now that I'm familiar. So there are two ways to take advantage of tax-free stores. You either show your passport, you present your passport, the physical passport, not a copy of that. You have to present your physical passport, or there was like an online QR code. The later half of my trip, once I fully understood how to do tax, because I wasn't sure if it complicated things if you participated in tax-free, but when I made that really big purchase of those the wizardry games and the horror show Soul Collector, I was just like, you know what, maybe I should try. I mean, worst case scenario, they'll just tell me no. So that helped a lot on saving money. So if you go to Japan, take advantage of the tax-free shops. If they advertise tax-free, just have your passport. You technically have to carry your passport. If a cop pulls you over and asks for your passport, you don't have your passport, you could potentially get in trouble. You are technically supposed to keep your passport with you. So if you are doing that, you will have your passport with you. So there was literally no reason to not take advantage of the tax-free option. I had no trouble with it coming back to America or anything. So there's literally no reason not to take advantage of it. Stores do have like a certain amount you need to purchase, like 5,000 or something. I don't know if that's across the board or if it varies on store to store. But definitely take advantage of it if you have the option to. This, I believe, is at a hard off. I think this was. So there was one hard off I got to go to. I heard hard offs were pretty interesting to find used stuff. I did not particularly find anything too interesting. Sadly, a lot of these stores that had stuff like this, like I would love to sit down and look through a lot of these, because I mean, like, there are a lot of cheap prices here, but again, like, space, like, I had a backpack, like, definitely, like, now that I'm familiar with some of these stores, and, like, I definitely would, like, try to get, like, a different kind of bag for some of these store shopping, because, like, my backpack took a lot of space behind me, and sitting down, like, at the trade-off, no, the book-off, at the book-off, I sat down, trying to look through a lot of stuff on the ground, and like I realized that some people were having trouble getting by me because of my backpack and the incredibly small hallway, and I felt really embarrassed because that, like, honestly, I would probably like get a really small bag, like not like super small, but I mean like something not quite as big as a backpack, trying some of these shops, because like seriously some of these shops are fucking small. But yeah, like hardware, I did not see a lot of hardware that's super fucking cheap. So hardware seems to retain a pretty decent price in Japan. And again, really expensive Pokemon. I just wanted to get a fucking copy of Green. Was that so much to ask? Like, but I couldn't find it. Like, this one place I found for like $40-ish, and it was like just a little shady, out of the way shop that, like, I don't know if I would have trusted it actually being real. Like, I would have actually been concerned about being potentially fake. Now, this is a junk shop. These are interesting places because this shit is cheap as hell, because these are primarily untested or broken. So obviously I cannot read any of these, but yeah, this was the area here. This is a different shop, but the hard off was right near here. But was this still part of, I think this was the junk shop, I think. Yeah, because I went to the... Yeah, that should have been the first floor of the junk shop. I bought a PS2 game for 100 yen here. It was an iToy game. But yeah, so this place was a big floor. I took a few pictures. Now I have a Switch game. This is a PC version, but I have a Switch version of this game, so it was kind of interesting seeing in the wild. There was a number of PC stuff. This is a shmup game, very cheap. Apparently PC stuff is very cheap also. This was in a risque shop, but this was Clad. I thought it was kind of weird seeing Clad here. And then I went back to that one game store that I got the Capcom dinosaur game. Had some time to kill, so I went back looking around at some stuff, and I found Lost Odyssey. Honestly, I was very tempted to get this because, like, the case. Now these were all sealed in plastic, so I couldn't open it. But the case, as you can see, is a really thick case. So I was actually genuinely interested in potentially just buying this just because of the case. But yeah, sadly, I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna have space. Next time, if I go, I'm definitely gonna be way smarter about space, and definitely get that. Man, I'm either missing a photo. Like by now, I should have had the photo of the other stuff. I must have either missed a photo. I might have to go dig for it. Fuck. But here's the stuff I got at that store. So the dinosaur one. This is brand new sealed. It is I got for basically $10. Let me see what it was going for on Play Asia, because I was actually looking into getting this. I heard it did not do very well. I hear it's not. Let's see if I can find it. Right here. So, fucking the Japanese version of Play Asia is $43.99. I got for fucking like $10 at the store, brand new sealed. So I was like, yeah, yes, please. This is a level 5 game. It's recommended by Professor Layton. I'm a little familiar with them, at least their existence. So I saw the sequel, so I bought it. I did not have Shining Force EXA, so it was like 780. So I was like, sure. This little RPG on the DS was cheap. The back looked really interesting. Grabbed it. Another Monster Hunter spin-off game on the PSP. It looks like it's basically a puzzle game. I also found this. So again, I don't know if I accidentally skipped out, like couldn't find the. I might have to look in my my other folder for the thing, but I found a other Mad Maestro game at that other store. I must have somehow accidentally missed the photo or something. Fuck. But so Mad Maestro has 3 games that I'm aware of, and we got the main one, but there were 2 spin-off ones, and this is the Christmas one, which we are definitely going to be fucking playing this Christmas. As you can see, very cheap. I got the other one very cheap. This was the game I got at the junk shop, 100 yen. I don't know if this is a unique game or if it's just a different cover. Like, there were a few iToy games. I don't really remember too much, but I was like, you know, I want to try a junk shop game. Like, and you know what's funny is this junk shop game is basically the condition you would probably find a PS2 game at a fucking GameStop. So, except you know the GameStop's probably paying like charging 20 to 40 to maybe even more for it. So you know, like this is nice to actually see like something appropriately priced for a slightly scratched disc. It wasn't horribly scratched, but it definitely had some scratches. Another interesting looking RPG that kind of reminded me of a Saturn game where you have like a little army from the screenshots that. And of course, more stuff behind glass. More and more and more. Always the stuff behind the glass. Firemen. Not sure if that's that one game, but there's a really neat Fireman based game. I think it is. I think it was made by Human Entertainment. There's a really fun game on the SNES by, I'm pretty sure that was it. Yeah, we got some mother over there, and so many things, so many stuff. Lots of interesting stuff too. Like, I guess there was a mixture of those things I'm interested in. And see, here's some Wizardry games. Look how much Game Boy Color. That's either OG Game Boy or Game Boy Color game. I'm not sure, but damn, that's really expensive for it though. 15,000. Oh fuck. Whip anyone who wants to get into the Japanese Wizardry games. I tell you, very expensive. Sadly, little boy, Lolo in Japan's kind of weird because they got like multiple Lolo games, and the one we got was like a weird hybrid of some of those games. No, let's see, this was a random store I went to. It just had a bunch of stuff. I don't think I made any purchases at this one. Wait, no. Technically I did at this one, actually, I think. It was on the first floor, if this is the store I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think it is, if it has the Virtual Boy picture. But yeah, this, as you can see, again, not a lot of space. Having a backpack here really fucking sucks. It really can suck a lot. But they did have lots of stuff. It's outside. 118,000? Fuck. Man, I tell you, prices. Yeah, honestly, this stuff sucks seeing it like this because you can't read any of it. Game Watches and man, I found some of these Pikachu things and stuff, but man, like I did not have a lot of luck finding anywhere else that had the fucking little PlayStation-y thing that copied the pocket thing that copied the Dreamcast stuff. Ooh, yeah, I didn't catch that. English. Hey, again, I missed those. Woo. Yeah, you know, maybe I'm kind of curious. Like, I might ask, like, Mike, like, hey, you got a bunch of stuff you don't want? I might take it to Japan and see what I can, like, convert it into and maybe come back with... You know, actually, I should do that. I should go to him, be like, hey, do you got a bunch of shit you don't want? I can take it to Japan, see what they'll take, and then bring you back a bunch of shit, and then I can also get a few things out of it. So I'll give you a whole bunch of Japanese shit, because man, like Game Boy stuff and that, like man, there's just a lot of fucking cheap shit. Like there's a lot. Yeah, there it is, the Virtual Boy. Man, can't imagine that being a very common seller. Okay, that was the store here. So this was that store. I bought down here on the bottom. There was like off screen. There's a bunch of bins. I bought like 2 PSP games. One was 100 and one was 200. I opened them up after. They were in good condition. Now this is in Akihabara. So these were like there was like 3 of these, I believe. All over the place. They have lots of fucking media, and 2 of the locations I believe also had adult sections. So you gotta be careful about that, especially if you are not wanting to see those. Hey, look, I missed that. Ooh, Mail Slug too. Can't see the prices though. Too blurry down there. Too blurry. Definitely need to invest in a better camera instead of my phone. Now, here's the Kid Dracula. I did notice. Quibbed. Expensive. I do like the Trader store, though. I think I really had a better time at Trader and Book Off. Super Potato, like, there's a much better photo. Ooh, 56. I think that was that cheaper than another one? I can't even remember where that was at. But yeah, there's definitely some pricey shit. If you've always heard that a lot of shit was cheap in Japan, like it's definitely... Hey, whoa, I didn't notice that. This is a pretty notorious title in America, and it looks like it's also pretty expensive here in Japan. This was very interesting, and it's not actually super expensive considering it comes with a fucking figurine. 7,000? Like, I mean, that's not like cheap as hell. 7,600? No, it's six. Oh wait, it's 6,980 yen. That's $45. So, I mean, considering that's an old game, it says unopened, so I'm assuming it means new. So, I mean, that's actually not horrible. That's actually a pretty neat priced item now. Here they are. Okay, so I guess the, I don't know, I guess the name or something got lost in the order. Ooh, that's a little boy. Oh, it's at the very end. Wonder how that happened. Anyway, this was at that shop way back where I mentioned the FunSoft game. So, here was the other Mad Maestro game. This game, as you may notice, is missing its label. It was like 200 and some yen as well. For some reason, it kept, they had one of those, like, beeping things, you know, like, will items beep if you try to steal it. So, like, every time he kept putting it across it to, you know, obviously make sure the beeping doesn't happen when I leave, it kept beeping. And it had something to do with this game, so he had to open it, and he did re-put it in plastic, but without the price thing. So, there was a Sakura Wars game, I think it was called, like, Mystery in Paris or something. A sample game. This is a Samurai hack and slash. I'm very sorry about being blurry. This is a game that other one I said by Namco, they, like, the aesthetics are different, but at the same time, like, some of the characters looked kind of similar, so I wasn't sure if they were maybe related or something. But this one was a little bit pricey. It's still really cheap. Now, this has an interesting story. Now, you can't see it, but there's an 8 here that's super faded. This dude did not fucking price it at 850 yen. He gave it to me for 50 fucking yen. Tales of Fandom 2. He gave it to me for fucking 50 yen. 50 yen's like 30 cents. A cribbed PS2 game for fucking... This must be like the cheapest fucking video game I've ever bought in my life. Man. But yeah, I'm really excited about some of the stuff I got. Admittedly, I didn't get super, like, a ton of super whale shit, but I had a really fun time. I hadn't had so much fun digging around, thrifting in a long time. Because, you know, in the West, we're pretty strapped for finding deals and shit. Everyone's obsessed with the, oh, it's so valuable and it sells for $1,000 on eBay these days. It feels like you can never fucking find a deal anymore. Goodwills have changed up to selling most games on the fucking website, so you don't see them in the Goodwill stores as often anymore. Pawn shops or like Evermore relying on eBay and other resource sites that do scalpel prices, like fucking yard sales even do it. Like, you just can't find a fucking break anymore these days in the West. So it was really refreshing to find many fantastical and interesting games for really cheap, while there's still obviously a lot of stuff that deems a lot of fucking money. Like, holy shit, here's a Simpsons game for 44,000? The fuck? The hell? The hell? But yeah, I'd say, like, I like the Trader and Book Off the most. Finding some of these side stores, though, like this one. Like I said, I got 2 PSP games here for fucking cheap as hell, too. This place wasn't horrible. Not... This particular location was. This location wasn't good. But there was one where there's like an adult section, a staircase going down, like immediately to your right. That one had a lot of good selection at it. This one, if I remember correctly, this particular location didn't actually have a video game section here, if I remember correctly. But yeah, like, I had fun, and, you know, obviously, there were probably tons of fucking video game stores I didn't even get to see, because, obviously, my friends, weren't there for video game, like, I wasn't purely here for video games, either. I wanted to see a lot of the sites and stuff, too. And we definitely got to see a lot of places, but I definitely did want to check out video game stores, and because... you know, they didn't have a particular interest in video games as much as I do. There were a lot of PC people, so... but I had a lot of fun checking out the stores. Definitely, if I was to go back, I would spend more strategic time looking at a lot of these. Again, like, man, look at these prices. Some cheap stuff here and just... I feel like there's just a gold mine of interesting things to find, because there's so many games that never fucking came to America. I mean, to be fair, there's probably a lot of shelfware crap too there or that. It blows my mind how ridiculous cheap this is. Like, fuck. It was just sitting there front and center pointing out one, and I'm just like, hey. That was like the only modern fucking game I got on my trip. Oh, man. But, yeah, like, I would definitely go back with less clothing to have more space for shit. To get into the tipping here, though, double check your prices again. If you, can I find a back here? Can I find a back of something? If you're having trouble looking up something, damn it. I need something with a back. But, if you're having trouble looking up something, if you look on the back of most games, there's a weird little code thing. I need to find something where I looked at the back. And I know there's, like, very little of that I did anyway. It's definitely not the Super Pay today that did that. If I could find one thing of anything. Damn it. I don't think, like, I can't think of anything I took a picture of the back anywhere. But, there's a little code. And sometimes you can find it on the sides and the spines and that, depending on what generation of games. But you can use that code to do usually a lot of like listings and stuff use those codes to find, and they're a very good way to find imports. Like, you know, I can't read the title, so I'm gonna put so let's say I grab one of the Taku Drum Masters. NTR-P-B3DJ, and that should pop that up on like eBay or some other stuff. So that's a way that you can figure out what something is, and then you can go from there and try to check prices. You know, double check prices, of course. You should always do that. But take advantage of tax-free. Have your passport or the QR code. I just used my physical passport, and if you do go the QR code way, just be aware they might not use the QR code. There are stores that don't have, like, you know, credit card readers and stuff, and you had to use physical cash. So I imagine in a similar way they might not have the way to actually read you QR code thing. So it probably is just better to fucking have your physical passport. But if the facility is a tax-free place, take advantage of it. I would definitely be doing that my next time I go. Like, I really regret not doing that. Now, to be fair, you know, I bought a lot of cheap stuff, and the one time I really didn't buy cheap stuff, I did make use of it. So, yeah, I think it cut, like, about, like, I don't know, like, 7 to 10k yen off or something. Like, I can't quite remember. But, yeah, like, I'd have to dig up the Pacific receipt, which is kind of hard to read anyway. But, now, the thing I was concerned about was coming back to America, because if you're not familiar with like flying out and shit, so you have to go through customs when going into Japan and coming out of Japan. And when you go through customs, if there's stuff you have the intent of selling or buying, or that like they want to know what you're bringing in and bringing out. Like when you leave Japan, you go through the customs of the country you're going to, and when you come to Japan, you do go through their customs. And you are supposed to declare stuff that you're gonna, if you're bringing stuff to sell in that. And that would be something I have to look into if I was to actually try something like that. But that's rough. Do you have to declare stuff you trade in? Yeah, that's an interesting question. Yeah. Because, I'm trading in, not selling. But either way, that would be a different thing I would have to figure out myself. But that is a different subject matter. We're talking about just simply buying shit. Obviously, going to Japan, you don't have to worry about anything, because if you're just buying it. Now, coming back. Now, this depends on every country, because every country has different regulations. But this is a regulation in America. I believe the amount was 800. Might have to double check that. But I'm pretty sure it was 800. Pretty sure it was $800. Yes. You can bring up to $800 worth of personal items duty free. So basically what that is saying is if you go over that much in value of items, they will start charging you taxes. Now, I believe my friend Browser said even when you trigger that, it's not too horrific. But still, if you're wanting to avoid paying any taxes on stuff, you want to keep that. Now, what I did, I have 5 little notepad papers here, and I kept track of the shit I bought and how much it was and stuff, and whether it was taxed or not, whether I had a receipt or not. Like, because I have like a lot of these capsule toys and stuff, which obviously don't get taxed or a receipt in that. But I tried to keep a general idea of all the stuff I bought and how much, and I was somewhere like a little past 500, so I was under that. But I did that because I didn't know what customs was going to be like, and I wanted to try and make it as painless as possible. So I did that. I kept all the receipts for things I had and stuff, and I didn't end up needing any of it. Now, that's not to say you can't be searched. Now, apparently there's 2 types of searches. So, obviously, if you wing up for suspicion for some reason, they're going to search you and go through your shit and stuff. And then there's, of course, when they randomly, because every so often they have to randomly eventually do a search on someone, and they will just randomly do that. Browser apparently had to do that on a work trip he had to do, like, immediately after coming back home. They randomly did. He said they went through all his stuff, but, he said it was pretty quick, though. Probably because, it was a work-related thing, so he probably didn't have a lot of stuff, I imagine, on him to look through. But you can be looked at. So, well, I got lucky, and it was very painful. Like, seriously, the guy put a stamp on my custom thing, and I just gave it to the next guy in line, and he just took it. Didn't look at any of my luggage. We did have to reclaim our luggage. When we landed at the first airport, which for me was Chicago, I had to reclaim my luggage, go through customs, and then give my luggage back to my the people doing my flight to get sent back to Missouri. So, there is the potential that they will want to look through your stuff. I'm not sure how being investigated is. Like I said, I wrote down the value of everything and kept track of that and had receipts. And I would hope that makes it look like more like you actually did your stuff, and they look at it and it's like, okay, it's under 800, you're good. That's basically what I was hoping. But I don't know. maybe one day I'll get to experience what that is like, and hopefully report that it's pretty painless or not. But you do want to keep your receipts and stuff in case you do get looked at, because I don't know what would happen. Because if they feel that your stuff is worth more than $800 worth, they can tax you. But again, like I said, Browser said the amount of taxes is still not very much, so could just be like, if you got a lot of spare money, maybe you shouldn't just worry about it and you just paid taxes. That I don't know. I don't know how they estimate your value of your items if you have no receipts for that. Will they look on eBay? Will they just kind of assume it like, oh, it's a video game, $60 each? I don't know. I don't know how they decide that, and that may also have a person-to-person kind of thing potentially too. So, yeah, that's gonna vary. But either way, I had a lovely trip when it came to thrifting and looking at games in Japan. It was very fun. I haven't had that kind of experience in a long time because, like I said, it's felt very dead in the West, and especially in my part of the country. So it was very refreshing to find titles I've never seen or heard of, finding stuff for good deals and shit compared to eBay and stuff. Like, very fun in that. So if I ever go back to Japan, I would definitely want to hunt down more stores and stuff. Like, that would be actually fun to do, along with getting to see some other sites and stuff for that. It was very lovely to see the countryside. As I said, I have like over like 1,600 photos of like the west of the trip, and that'll be its own video. But overall, I had fun. It was great prices and shit. But yeah, double check your prices. Take advantage of tax-free shops, whatever the minimum is. If you meet that and that, take advantage of it. Save some money. There were lots of places that did tax-free, so definitely recommend doing it if it is probable or possible, especially if you buy a lot of stuff. Again, not everything does tax-free. So, and there was something kind of interesting. Ease bought a figurine at a used figurine place, and they told him that you can't get tax-free on used stuff, which doesn't make sense because I got tax-free at Book Off on used video games. So I'm not quite sure if that person was just telling an excuse or something. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, usually they have giant signs saying if they're tax-free. Seriously, take advantage of. Don't make a mistake I made. But do write down your stuff, keep track of your stuff, keep your receipts. I do still advise doing that just in case you do get searched and you have something to show and be like, I did my diligency of keeping track of what I got, and it's under, so and so, and having the receipts back up, the prices on your list, I think will help back, obviously, being honest on that and such. You don't want to fuck around, and I always advise, there are certain foods and treats and sugary things and stuff you can transport on flights, but there's a lot of food you can't. My advice when it comes to stuff like that is just don't do food. I don't advise bringing food on flights back and forth, and that you can with different things, but you need to do your due diligence to be sure that is legal and fair, allowed both countries, when especially going to different countries. Japan, like when you go through customs in Japan, it has a lot of food shit listed, so they are definitely very concerned about anyone bringing food into the country. So yeah, just don't bother with food, in my opinion, either way. If you really want to, do your due diligence and make sure it's good both ways. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go. This probably was all way really long, but hopefully some of y'all found the whole thing interesting. I still cannot believe how the fuck is Lufia on the fucking Game Boy Advance 24 fucking thousand yen. That's the biggest whip-off ever. Fuck you, that game is awful. I don't care, it's stupid. It's awful as shit.